The Bible says in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26 and 27, "Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger and give no opportunity to the devil." Reading from the ESV. In his book, Anger, Handling a Powerful Emotion in a Healthy Way, author Gary Chapman recognizes anger is one letter short of danger. History is replete with many examples of injustices carried out at the behest of individuals controlled by anger. For example, look at what happened back in 1921 when a 19-year-old black boy named Dick Rowland tripped and fell on an elevator and accidentally touched the shoulder of a white lady named Sarah Page. Sarah's surprised reaction led to her screaming, which resulted in the police being called, and then all hell broke loose. This simple situation became the spark that lit the torches of an angry mob who walked through the streets of Tulsa, Oklahoma, killing hundreds of people while burning Black Wall Street to the ground. Recent conversations on the news have been bombarded with the case of Tyrese Nichols, who was beaten so severely by a group of police officers that he later died. Do we see a problem with rage in our society? From police beatings to mass shootings and street violence, to wars and intense conflicts between countries, communities, and families. Even driving can become an issue of life and death sometimes due to the ever so often road rage that one may experience from time to time. What happens in a world where we allow our feelings to run wild and are taught that feelings come first and that our first impulses are worthy of being followed? The Bible says predictably, people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, and not loving good. 2 Timothy 3, verse 2-3. In an effort to stem the tide, or at least to avoid partaking in the prevailing trends, we are told, be angry and sin not. That is, there are situations in which anger is the appropriate response. It is a natural part of us to be dissatisfied with injustice. It's okay to feel angry. We were built with the ability to assess and analyze the details of our surroundings and with a sense of knowing right from wrong. And when the axis of our world tilts to the side of injustice, it is justifiable to be angry about it. Yet the injunction does not stop there. It adds, do not sin. That is to say, as much as we are allowed to be angry, we are not allowed to follow where it leads us. Look at it this way. Imagine your heart as a house. Imagine that anger is a relative that shows up now and then. Now, you cannot control the arrival of this relative, but you can control where and how long it stays with you. While anger may step foot in your home, you cannot allow this guest to stay for too long. Do not let anger on packaged bags settle on your couch and sleep in your bed with you. Set boundaries with this guest. Say to anger, thanks for stopping by, but do not overstay your welcome. The Bible tells us, be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the heart of fools. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 9. So do not sleep with your anger in your heart. Do not seethe in it, and do not harbor resentment for anyone because they upset you. This is why we are told, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger and give no opportunity to the devil. You see, the devil feels welcomed in a home where anger lives. He is always looking to occupy space in the life of an angry person. And when anger reigns freely in the rooms of our lives, we are driven to act foolishly and violently toward each other. We end up like Cain, who, by his anger, drew a line in the sand between himself and his brother and killed him, and justifies the death by saying he was not responsible for protecting his brother Abel. He said to God, am I my brother's keeper? The devil occupies space in our world, in our country, in our homes, and in our lives to the point where we have no problem killing one another for whatever reason. I wish we were more like Jesus in all of our experiences, who on the day he was to be crucified, while the mob was stirred up in a frenzy, while a failing justice system was adjudicating his case, while Barabbas, a criminal, was set free and he was beaten and was led to be crucified. He was in such great control of his feelings that he stood out amid the mob. His glory shone through the power of his silence and suffering. May we too, friends, commit ourselves to God while noting that the anger of man does not achieve the righteousness of God. James 1 and verse 20.